Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.
Hello and welcome to this special episode of Walks and Wonders. This is one of a special series I'm going to be doing called Tech Tuesdays. Videos will normally be outside with me doing a walk or a wander somewhere and seeing what's happening outside, but quite a few people have asked me what I use to film on my YouTube channel, and so I want to make a series of videos on the technical thing behind the scenes. Now, one of the things that people suffer from when they start thinking about YouTube or videoing is what's become known as GAS, G-A-S, Gear Acquisition Syndrome. And you probably already have most of what you need to start videoing or start a YouTube channel. I don't know if you realise, but I'm filming this first section of this video on my iPhone, and I'll prove it, I'll show you here. That is what I'm filming on, an iPhone. Now you'll notice I've got something plugged into the iPhone, and it is just this cheap Boya mic. I just use this little microphone from Boya. It's about £20 on Amazon. I'll put a link to anything I mention in the description below so you can find it. And therein lies another lesson I found out about YouTube, that the audio is just as important, if not more important, than the video. You'll find that if your video is a bit shaky, a bit wobbly and a bit rubbish, people will tolerate it if they can hear what you're saying and that the audio is all right. So I'd recommend getting one of these little tight clip microphones, and with that and your iPhone and the little adapter for your headphone socket in the modern iPhones, you're good to go really. Now I am going to switch over to a different camera now just because I want to show you something about the iPhone, and I'll need to use it rather than film with it. So if you want to make videos like I do walking along, you'd literally get one of these £3 selfie sticks. I think this was like £2.50 off Amazon. It's ridiculously cheap. Even comes with a little Bluetooth dongle thing that you can take pictures kind of at distance. You pop your iPhone in there, you put it on the front facing oops. You make sure that's a bit tighter than it is, and your iPhone's a bit more central. You put your iPhone on there, you extend it out a little bit, and you've got a basic vlogging setup. Put your front facing camera on, you're off. You can kind of wander around doing videos, and at that distance it's probably not too bad, and it's quite a wide angle on the iPhone front facing camera, so it's not a bad setup. The one downside would be the audio, but if you get this little Boya microphone, which I think is about 20 quid, comes in a little bag like that, and you just need your Apple headphone adapter. So you've got the kind of Thunderbolt, whatever plug that's called, and the audio thing there, and then you can plug this straight in. When you're using it with your iPhone, it doesn't use any battery. When you're using it with a different camera, you will need to switch it on, and it will need a battery in the microphone. So that is a reasonable cheap setup, £2.99 your phone, at the most 20 quid for an external microphone. Really good to go. There are a couple of people around that have got successful YouTube channels. I mean, the video is very shaky, but I think that's more because they're not really taking care to, you know, make it as stable as they can. But they've got thousands and thousands of views. So what I did, I didn't start on my phone, although you could. I tried a few things on the phone, but I bought this Sony camera. This is the Sony WX500. I paid about $329, but the current price is here. That's what I've just looked up today on Amazon. Ones that were recommended were about £700 to £800. I didn't know if this was going to be a serious hobby or, you know, what it was going to turn into, so I didn't want to spend that much at the outset. But all round, this is quite a good first camera if you want to start vlogging or making videos. Even if you're just making videos of your family, it's a step up from your iPhone. It's certainly a better picture quality. So my early videos like Wells Next to the Sea and the Winter Walk with Hazel from Thorpe Nest to Aldeburgh, Those were all filmed on this, and certainly our trip to the New Forest where we walk from Brockenhurst to Lymington, that video is all filmed on this, and probably quite a few videos after those early ones. I still use this camera. It's not my main camera anymore, but I still use it. It's a great first camera if you just want to get the feel of it. Now, why it's a good first camera? First of all, it's got the old flippy screen, so you can see what you're filming. If I just switch that on, what you must remember to do though, just a little tip for making videos, if you are going to start filming yourself talking to the camera, make sure you talk to the lens and not the picture of you up there. Right now I am talking into the lens of the camera and it feels like I'm talking to you. If I start looking at myself in the flippy screen on that camera that I'm filming on, it now looks like I'm looking across the top of your head, and it's not very personal. So the trick with speaking to the camera is to look into the lens and not into the flippy screen. Okay, the second thing about this is it's got the microphones on the top. These fluffy things don't come with the camera. I'll talk about them in a minute. It's got the microphones on the top, so if you're filming away from you, like if you're filming a scene and you're talking about it, the microphone's right near your mouth, so it will pick you up quite well. If you're holding it out there, you'll have to speak up a bit more, but it's also good, you know, the microphone's not on the back like it is on some cameras. So I think the microphones are well placed. The one snag, I'm just going to switch that off. The one snag I found with this camera when I first tested it was that it's very susceptible to wind noise. So the microphone's just two holes on the top of it. And so it picks up a lot of wind noise. So even if you've got a light breeze, you're going to get wind roar on your video, which is never good because audio is as important as video. What I did, I bought these Rycote, I think it is, micro Windjammers. So they're just like a bit of fluff with a self-adhesive bit on the back, and you pop them over your microphone. Now the problem with this Sony camera is that this microphone is right near the on-off switch, so it's kind of hidden under there, but I just cut it in half, so it's kind of covering the microphone and keeping the wind at bay, but you can also still see the on-off button. It's a bit fiddly, but you just press it and it works. Look, like that, it works. And off again. So you can just walk along like this, talking to your camera with the camera in your hand, but here's a little tip. It's cheap. This is the $2.99 cheap Selfie Stick. You can actually unscrew the fold holder. That will give you a tripod mount, and there's a tripod mount on the bottom of the Sony, and you can screw that camera onto your selfie stick, flip your screen up, switch on, and you're good to go. Press record on the back and you're good to go. You can see what it is you're filming, but remember to look at the lens. And you can extend it out further, and if you want to film something, you just hold it that way around. So the only problem is, because this camera is a bit heavy, it can sometimes do that. So I don't know what you can do about that really. Just make sure your camera's fairly central, and but that, if you want a cheap vlogging setup, that's quite a good one. I'll put links to all the products I mentioned today down in the description below. The other thing I bought was this DuraGadget camera case that fits, I think it's made for this camera. So I just unscrew that off the old selfie stick, and you can see it fits in there, zips up nicely. I keep a spare battery in there as well. And it's got a carabiner here, so you can kind of clip it onto your rucksack or your trouser belt or whatever. Now that's the first camera I ever used for YouTube, but I have bought a couple of others over this last year, and I use most of them, but they're all for different purposes. The great thing about the Sony is it has got that zoom function, which my current setup that I have doesn't have the zoom function. You can zoom in digitally later when you're editing it, but it's not as good as doing it with an optical zoom. So I would definitely recommend the Sony WX500. If you're just starting out, if you're just going to do talking head videos at home or indoors anywhere, You probably don't even need the fluffy bits for the microphone, but always, I think, necessary if you're filming outdoors. Thanks for watching today. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up on YouTube, and I'll see you in the next video.